Greetings and welcome to New Dawn Presentation 7. And Hatman is back. There's a reason for this. Don't worry, I'm not going to break into song and sing like the Flat Earth Guru. But just a little impression there. But if you haven't listened or haven't heard his songs, then do give them a try. They're really to the point. Some are amusing, some are very prophetic. And there's a serious side to it all with the chemtrailing and things. I was thinking about the supposed fairy tale of Sleeping Beauty. See, there is such a thing as a fate worse than death, and in that story it is the bite of the apple. We think of Apple computers, and I'm partly inspired with this video by a comment I got. I can't remember the name who sent the comment in, but saying about his son and the damage from vaccines, and potentially how that is why a lot of people won't wake up. I've experienced this myself, where you can talk about a lot of things to people and it seems to make sense to them, but by the next day they've forgotten about it. Or if you dare to question their strongly held beliefs in anything, how you can actually see their light start to diminish. And it makes a good point about what this vaccine damage does. It's put about with so many things that it's just around the corner. The technology that's coming up with the RFID chips, I think they're called. Well, it follows the same pattern. These things are already in place anyway. The chemtrailing goes back over 100 years. I think it was a Plain Truth for You channel has shown this from newspaper reports, how they were manipulating the weather in the 19th century. There is really nothing new under the sun with any of this. But I wanted to, well, the hat was actually to illustrate a point I wanted to make. A lot of you are going with this Messiah complex, and what I mean by that is you're looking for a saviour. I'm sorry to say that only you can save yourself. Nobody can do it for you. I can offer you some sort of guidance. The only authority I can speak from is my personal experiences of things, and there's plenty of other channels that can do that as well. Stellarvision and Roots channel come to mind straight away. Holographic Multiverse, Way of One, my brother Lee. I mean, if you want, I've said before, if you want cheering up, just listen to Lee. He's absolutely brilliant. He'll bring you out of, because we all go through bad days at times. I'm actually quite lucky I'm pulling out of that. It is, like I've said, it's down to that inner peace. So yeah, the hat, let's get back to the hat. So I happen to be walking down the road, and this has happened about maybe 3 times, and a gust of wind has got under the back of it. It's took it off my head. If there's a nice motorist that happens to see what's happened, they may slow down the car and give me a chance, but it's up to me to go and chase after that hat. And this is the thing to remember. Nobody is going to save you. Only you can save yourself. But even that word "save" I don't like. Well, I mean, what are we being saved for? It's not so much being saved, it's being free. You want to find the Messiah. Well, it's you. Each and every one of you. You are your own sun in your universe. It's just finding it within yourself. I mean, even in religious terms, they talk about talk to God. God is always listening. So you don't need a middleman, especially not a man wearing a frock. So, and then I don't want to even get into that because it's so hypocritical anyway. Where the problem occurs with waking people up is you've just got to look at the filtering system that we have in place. just as you've got this ludicrous idea that you use a birth certificate as proof of identity, and yet at the very bottom of that piece of paper it says this is not proof of identity. It's a bit of a circular reasoning straight away there. Same as all these charities and things, all these trusts, all these organisations, they're all registered. Same as a birth certificate is registered. It's like being at school being registered. It's and they are filtering systems. So you've got the useful idiot level with everything. The people who think they're doing good, and it does look to start with as if they are doing good. The illusion is that they're being sort of lured into a system. I was watching Captain Kirk channel. He's done a video on Einstein, and what comes out of that is that's just a clown and an actor. I mean, the guy is reading from a piece of paper. He's supposed to be this brilliant scientist. Why does he need to read? Surely he's got it all in his head, what he wants to say. And then you've got the key dates like 1912, and it mentions about how friends helped him. That saying about it's not what you know, it's who you know. Because this is how this whole system works. Everything from Boy Scouts and Girl Guides, brownies and so on, upwards, sports, education, they're all filtering systems to pick out, as what George Carling said, smart enough to operate the machines but not smart enough to work out what's going on. So there's plenty of lures to pull out the ones that could potentially work things out. And then they're fed all these accolades, initials after their name, merit badges and so on. And this is how this system operates. So at the useful idiot level, they don't know what's going on. Had a very interesting afternoon yesterday. Had 6 police turn up, not specifically to this door, but of course I had to go and play along and went outside for a cigarette. And the first one comes up and said, "Did I hear any screaming?" And I said, "Are you a police constable or are you a police officer?" Oh, and he said, "Oh, I'm a special police officer." I said, "Well, an officer is a representation of a corporate, and I remain in the land of the living." So I didn't bother even answering. Then I've got my back turned to them, and I've got the top on that says "We make Nouveau" on the back. So yeah, we can put things in plain sight as well. And it's like, "Excuse me, sir," and I thought, "Well, don't call me sir. That's a bloody sir. It's just one of their terms. I'm not a sir." "Did I hear any screaming?" I said, "Oh yeah, lots of screaming." "Oh, when?" And I said, "Well, children out in the street, and seagulls, they scream all the time, all day long." I said, "But anyway, aren't you supposed to be wearing a mask and social distancing?" And "Oh, we're just following up on inquiries." "Oh, very interesting." But it's funny how these masks, we've got the visual ones now, but don't forget that pretty much everybody wears a mask. I mean, I do in a way. I mean, I'm the hat man now. Yeah, so that's how it is. And what else do I want to say on this video? I don't want this one to be a long one. I want this to be a short one, because I'll get to that point in a minute. The mind's all over the place today, thinking of different things. So yeah, what I'm saying is, don't put me on a pedestal. I can just give you analogies from personal experience of things, and hopefully put it into a day-to-day context, like me chasing the hat down the street. And that sort of scenario can be applied to anything, really. It is basically, the message is only you can save yourself, and that cannot be stressed enough. Funny, that word stressed as well. That's the right type of stress, not the stress we're subjected to being subjects. So yeah, I'm waiting for the next sort of encounter with these useful idiots. Have a game with it. I mean, you can turn things round. One of the best ones was, I had a phone call once saying, "For quality and training purposes, this call may be recorded." And I said, "Well, aren't they all?" There was a long pause, and yes. I said, "Well, why don't you just say that in the first place then?" sort of beaten around the bush of maybe recorded. And then it's the security questions. You're like, hold on a minute, I need to ask you security questions. You just turn it round, have some fun with it. Likewise with the police, say to them, I'm obliged to tell you that this conversation is being recorded. It implies it's electronic, but it doesn't have to be. You're talking to source. Which reminds me, I will be doing a video coming up soon on what is original thought, because that's an interesting topic, especially in light of all these synchronized thoughts that we all have with each other. There's a lot of parallels that we all have. We've all gone through shit at some point in our life. We've all gone through low points, which is why we are going through this awakening process. And I do think that the vaccines and probably the processed foods and many other things are all contributing to this loosening of our soul energy and hiding what we really are. But anyway, the real point of this presentation is to say, I'm going to throw this out there, and it's like, ask me a question. Not saying I'm going to be able to answer it. Hopefully, well, I put my trust in source that it will come as a spiritual download, or there may be a comment that it's like that aha moment when there's the answer, where we spark off each other. Because I'd say it's 50-50%. 50% is spiritual downloads, 50% is amongst each other, and it can be just one, like I said before, it can be one word in a comment or a video, or it can be a line in a song, it can be a line in a book that just leaps out at you. Gut feeling is the answer. If something feels right, it's your soul telling you that it's right. It's becoming, this lockdown is actually wonderful because it's made it so much easier to see people in terms of energy, and and there's not many of us really, but there's enough of us. What we're up against is the pawns that are stuck in the middle with all this, that have, shame on them for being so compliant with all this and going along with this stupid thing. But what are we supposed to do? Do we get angry, react angrily to it? And there's no point. It's just don't take part in the game. It's the same as if you've got ME, for example. You get good days and you get bad days. You just work round it rather than work against it. So it's like, okay, I'm having a shit day today, so the laundry or the washing up can wait till the next day. It's still going to be there, isn't it? And is it the end of the world? I used to say a lot, sort of, in 100 years' time, who's going to give a shit? Because it's all so trivial, and it really doesn't matter. If necessary, if you run out of plates, you can just wash one plate, can't you? Just run it under hot water. I mean, what you can do, poison yourself with your own germs. So, yeah, it's like, so throw us some questions. Caught the table there. Throw us some questions, some in the comments. Put some question you want answered, and I will do my best to try and answer it. Sort of opening the floodgates here. But I'm hoping out of this it will spark other people to come back and reply to those comments as well with things, because I really don't have the answers at all. Like I say, I can only speak from personal experience on these things. What are we up to here? Let's have a look. Where is it? Oh, I can't quite see it. It's the grey of my beard. 13, coming up to 14 minutes. So these take an eternity to load up. So hopefully it's brightened up your day a bit. Oh, one final note. The most recent comment I've just seen, I've said to the guy, fantastic, I've inspired him to make his first video, and that's not the first time that's happened. And this is the thing, this comes back to this whole Messiah thing. Let's spread the load evenly, lots of channels. If videos are the right way that you want to go about things, because it doesn't suit everybody, I appreciate that. But I will reiterate again, I would say to anybody, look, you're used to talking on the phone anyway. You probably do video calls with other people. What's the difference? The only thing is, when you first start a channel, it seems quite daunting, and you are really just talking to yourself and hoping that people will find your channel, which obviously is not made easy by YouTube. That also reminds me, there are a few comments I haven't responded to. Not my fault. It's although they're set so allow all comments, YouTube in their infinite wisdom seem to still put them in the spam folder, and I'm unable to retrieve them with this phone format because that's all I have to work with. But what do I do about it? Do I rage and get angry at YouTube? No, there's no point. Because what's it going to achieve? I'm just going to have a negative energy in me. So we just work around it as best we can and just hope that the comments do all filter through. And I think I've caught up because it's a case of scrolling. Every time I reply to a comment, when I do the back button, it goes back to the top, and then I've got to scroll down. And then sometimes I find there's other comments that weren't there before that are then suddenly there. So I'm then replying to those. So bear with me. I will try and do the best I can, working with the technology that I've got. At the end of the day, we're at the mercy of everything. That's another point. Imagine you're in the system and you're in that, shall we say, inner circle of minions that is partaking in some of the more sinister black magic child ritual aspects of things, and you find you've got a spark of conscience. Where do you go with that information? You certainly can't go to Facebook, you can't go to YouTube, you can't go to any of the social media, you certainly can't go to the papers or the television with it. And what are you going to get? I think most of us know about the secret oaths of certain societies, Jesuits and things, and if you break the brotherhood or the sisterhood, what will happen to you? There is such a thing as a fate worse than death. And I'll just explain what that is. A lot of you have probably experienced sleep paralysis. Imagine if you had that for, say, 100, 200 years, 300 years, and you're conscious and awake, but you cannot move. There's your Bronze Age. There's your Stone Age right there. It's a black magic spell somehow that has been cast, because I am feeling the energy from some of these statues. And don't forget, when you see on the tops of banks and things what look like Phoenicians, do you really think that the evil behind everything will say, oh, I'm sorry you failed in your mission, better luck next time? Or do you think they are just discarded and punished for failing in their attempts? So these demonic entities that try and attack, and yes, they do really exist. I've been experienced them, and you can see them with the third eye. To some of you it might sound crazy. I can only tell you from a personal experience, and they have two choices. They either get burnt or they go away. If they go away, they've got to go back and tell that they failed, and 1 to me, 0 to the dark side. You just don't feel fear and don't give in to them, because they have no power. The only power that they have is what you allow them to have. So if you feel fear, you're giving them an open door to come in and then do even worse. And we don't want that. You are the master of your, or the mistress of your universe. Don't forget that. You are that living God. You are that sun within your vessel. This is the thing. It's not about having power over somebody else. It's about being the captain of your ship and having power over yourself. You can only change the world around you that you can change. What you can't, you can't. It just depends how you want to respond or react to it. And quantum of conscience, like Matt channel, what Matt says, always think about what is the system feeding us, and how is it trying to get us to respond. That's really good advice, because it is so easy to fall into the trap of reaction and anger, and of course it's a negative energy, and you're opening a door for these demonic. I like to think of it as we're like a bank of lights, and when you've got a bit of negative energy, that light switch is on. Those demonic entities seem to know, and they're right there. So that's the thing to keep out, because you don't want them in your universe. So be your own saviour. That's what I've got to say on this. And give us some questions, open challenge, and let's see what we can get out of this. Because great minds think alike, and I mean, Martin Leaker has got the Flat Earth British think tank, and it is amazing what comes out. It's not organised in the sense like the system organisation. It is very loose and fluid and flowing, and it's impossible to actually completely kill off that way. It's a winning formula. So together it doesn't have to be a lot of us. We've got enormous power. The power of the mind and the power of the heart are our greatest defences, and I don't like to use the word, but they're our greatest weapons as well. But as long as we don't use them in a negative way and an attack, but we use them to protect and shield, because there's a positive way of fighting back in this spiritual war. We don't have to go in aggressive. Positive energy would never be negative, and positive is the plus sign. Again, it's that your aura, and you put your arms out, and your aura is your Taurus field around you. You don't allow that 5G in. You don't allow anything in that you don't want. You are sovereign to yourself. That's as simple as it gets, really. It's just finding that energy, finding that light. It's all about going within. Lee, Flat Earth British Sub, left me a comment about the word divine. Dive in energy, you could say it means. You go within. You find it within yourself. Reignite that light, and then you project it out. Lose those negatives, turn them into positives. Switch the polarity. There's your pole shift as well. So I'll leave that there and say ta-ta for now, and ta-ta from the Hat Man as well for now. He'll be back again, I'm sure. So thanks for listening, and keep those comments coming in. They're absolutely wonderful and very inspiring, and if I just help one person per video, I'm happy. That makes me even happier than I already am, because despite the serious face, there's my mask, I am actually laughing and smiling inside, the bringer of jollity. And I'm not the only one out there doing it. There's plenty of other channels, some of which I've already mentioned on here. So stay in high vibration. We'll get through this. I don't think we've actually got that long to wait. I think September might be very interesting. The fall, the equinox, when everything equals out maybe. But red sky in the morning, shepherd's warning. It'll all become apparent. You get 48 hours notice, but start doing the work now. Don't leave it to the last minute like any exam, because there will be a judgment of sorts. It will be a magnetism. That's what I'm going with. Magnetism is the key to everything. So ta-ta for now.